This is a story about our ancestors, Abraham and Sarah, and the gift of laughter. When the great flood was over, the creatures went out into all the four directions of the earth to fill it up with life again. They often moved and gathered along the rivers. The people lived in small villages and then cities, and one of the most ancient and greatest of these cities was called Ur. In the city of Ur, the people believed that there were many gods. There was a god for every tree, every rock, every flower. There was a god of the sky, the clouds, the water, and the land. The world was alive with gods. But there was one family that believed that all of God was in every place. They did not yet know that, but that is what they thought. Abram and Sarai were part of that family. When it came time to move to a new place, they were not sure that God would be there, but they went bravely anyway. They walked toward Haran with their sheep and their donkeys. Even the old people and all the children went too. They slept in their tents at night, and during the day they walked along the great river called the Euphrates. It showed them the way, and gave them and all their animals water to drink. The journey took a long, long time, and they wondered what the new place would be like. Finally, they met people coming out of Haran, and they knew the journey was almost over. Then they were there, and God was there too. Sometimes Abram would go out to the edge of the desert and look out across the sand and into the sky. Then God came so close to Abram, and Abram came so close to God, that he knew deep in his heart what God wanted him to do. God wanted Abram and Sarai to move on again to another new place. Abram and Sarai did what God said. They went into the desert to the west of Haran and walked toward Canaan. They finally came to a place called Shechem. Abram climbed up a hill and prayed to God, and God was there too. So Abram built an altar to mark the place. Then they went on. Next they came to a place near Bethel. Abram prayed again, and God was there also. Abram built an altar to mark this place too. God was not just here or there. All of God was everywhere. Then they went on to Hebron to finally make their new home near the oaks of Mamre. One night, God brought Abram outside. He looked up into the sky. God came so close to Abram, and Abram came so close to God, that Abram knew what God was saying. You will become the father of a great family, and Sarai will be the mother. The members of the great family will be as many as there are stars in the sky and grains of sand in the desert. Abram laughed when he heard this. He and Sarai were very old. God's promise sounded impossible. God also said they must change their names. Abram was now to be called Abraham, and Sarai was now to be called Sarah. Abraham and Sarah continued living near the oaks of Mamre, and one day God came to visit. 3 strangers came out of the desert. Abraham was sitting by his tent. He invited them in, and Sarah mixed 3 measures of flour, which is a lot, and she gave them bread and meat to eat, and milk and water to drink, as was the custom. The visitors told Abraham that he and Sarah would have a son. Abraham laughed. Sarah was standing by the tent opening and heard them. She laughed too. They both were far too old. It was impossible. The 3 strangers went on their way, planning to return in a year. Do you know what happened? Abraham and Sarah had a son. They laughed again, and this time with joy. The impossible had happened. They named the baby Laughter. In their language, the word for laughter is Isaac. Baby Isaac.